ahead and turn this on.
Whatever that moving around up there is, it's still going.
That was another.
Is there somebody around us?
Did something happen to your neck? Is that why you look this way?
Choke?
Choke and suffocate.
Something is up there.
Okay.
All right, Phantom Freaks, we are back again with Twin Paranormal. And this is the Fairfield County Infirmary episode that just dropped, just released. This is part 1. Definitely come back and look for probably 2 more parts to this. Got pretty nutty here as usual. There's some interesting things going on. Like this stuff coming out now in the audio that is kind of confirming some theories and stuff. There's stuff being revealed now that I'm going through this a little more. It's getting pretty interesting. So stay tuned. Make sure you get over to Twin Paranormal's page, give them a subscription. They're almost at 1 million subscribers there, trying to get them over the top. And check out the original video. I have it linked in the description below. And you definitely want to check that out to get the full context, because this is just the audio portion. You know, we're going to clean it up, pull it out if you're here for the first time. I have a background in pro audio. I'm trying to bring the skill sets here to the paranormal community and enhance some of the audio that we get from the different teams and whatnot. So anyway, without further ado, let's get on into the video here.
Welcome to another episode on our channel. We are Twin Paranormal, and tonight we are here at the Fairfield County Infirmary. Woo! I like that energy. But this is what happened.
How does it know?
Where did that noise just come from? If you are here in front of me, can you say yes in this device, please? He doesn't like you being here.
Yes. I jump screamed because something came running at me like this. I heard it on the floor.
Hello?
That literally just closed.
Is somebody going to hurt us?
Definitely.
Yeah. So as you can see, it got pretty wild there, but we'll get on into the breakdown. Let's hit the first clip here. Here's the original.
We have a couple of devices here that will give you the ability to show us that you are around. Because unfortunately, we can't see you with our own eyes. Unless if you have enough energy to show us.
Whoa. Did you just hear that?
Now that in and of itself was decently loud, but we'll go ahead and see what we can do to pull it out anyway.
We have a couple of devices here that will give you the ability to show us that you are around. Because unfortunately, we can't see you with our own eyes. Unless if you have enough energy to show us.
Did you just hear that?
Yeah, I mean, that was just your
We have a couple of devices
knock.
here that will give you the ability to show us that you are around. Because unfortunately, we can't see you with our own eyes. Unless if you have enough energy to show us. Did you just hear?
And that's just your standard thump and bump. There's something very interesting about these noises, though. As we get further in, it's starting to be apparent how they're being made by the entities some of the time. Stay tuned. There's a couple of clips I'm going to speak specifically on here that kind of show it. So let's move on and get on down the line here. These are all in order with the original episode. So as you go through it, you can compare if you'd like. Here's the original.
Did you just hear that?
Now, what you're hearing here is same incident, but of course it says from the they use the audio from the stationary camera, which I believe was upstairs from them. So it was closer to the source of this door slamming. Unfortunately, here there was a production decision to put a production sound effect over it, kind of the musical orchestral hit. I don't know why that was done, because I mean, the door slamming seems to be in and of itself adequate for that clip. I don't know why it was layered, but if you can hear that.
Hear that?
So you can hear the music and everything around it. I did see if I could pull some of that music off of it so we could get the original audio of the door slamming, and I think I got it pretty decent. This is it with that removed.
Hear that?
You see there, we got most of it out of there.
Hear that?
Yeah, there was a loud door slam there. I would have left that. I just, when you're editing, and I don't know if it's them editing or if it's, third party editor, you're trying to move through it as quickly as you can. And, sometimes there's oversights and things, and it's no big deal, but we got the original audio there. Let's slow it down.
Hear that?
Yeah, that's pretty crap. Apparently, there's a lot of instances of doors closing here, as you saw in the beginning clips. They got a lot of door slams going on, so it's pretty nuts. Let's get on to the next clip.
So if you can, the first thing I'd like to do is bring out a device where you can use your words, whether it's one word or a whole sentence. We hear you.
You see there.
So if you can, the first thing I'd like to do is bring out a device where you can use your words, whether it's one word or a whole sentence.
Let's get on to the enhancement.
So if you can, the first thing I'd like to do is bring out a device where you can use your words, whether it's one word or a whole sentence.
As you can clearly hear there, two, again, atypical knocks. You're going to notice a lot of you that are subscribed here, there's going to be, you're going to kind of turn into what we call audio files where, your ears are going to be a little, I think Phantom Freak's ears are going to be a little more in tune with things just as you go along here. And I, repeat myself on a lot of stuff and talk about the different things that are going on here audio wise. These knocks and bumps are going to sound very similar, not only within a team's body of work here. So it's not like, oh, are they using sound effects and it's the same? No. This goes across many teams. They're going to sound very similar because, in my opinion, they're very similar entities that are doing this. So you'll hear it a lot in my personal recordings. Just if you don't know, if this is your first time listening, I definitely got a lot recorded back in 2011, way before this stuff was ever on YouTube. And I have that to compare to what I'm hearing on, from these teams. So there's a lot of very similar stuff. And like these knocks here, very similar to the stuff I was recording. Very similar. It has a very familiar sound. So anyway, you'll notice that as we go through. These are kind of your typical, situations.
So if you can, the first thing I'd like to do is bring out a device where you can use your words, whether it's one word or a whole sentence. We hear you.
Yeah, that was the slow-mo there. Let's get on to the next clip.
What's the problem? There can be multiple daddies in this world.
I beg to differ.
The daddy twins. Why it's like, what about me? Whoa! Hi! Wait, yeah. I just set a device right... No, wait, what the
Did they just come to...
Now, this is one of the ones I was mentioning earlier. This clip... Now, if you hear the original, you're listening real close, you probably think, okay, yeah, that sounds like tapping, right? Let's here, let me play that again.
Wait, yeah. I just set a device...
Yeah, it sounds like two taps or two knocks very softly. But when it was enhanced, and I started thinking for a minute, is this artifacting? Sometimes, when you're stretching and pulling things and messing with the different layers, sometimes you can get to the point to where it can kind of build up artifacts. So you have to be careful to keep it clean, so that the original sound is preserved and nothing's being added or taken away. So I was looking at that because I was like, no, when I heard it, I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound like tapping. Once I pulled it out, let me play it.
Whoa! Hi! Wait, oh, yeah.
Now, if you listen to that closely, and I'll play the slow-mo here in a second. Let's play it again.
Whoa! Hi! Wait, oh, yeah.
That's not tapping. That is not tapping. That is not knocking. That is actually what I believe is some kind of, do I want to call it a vocalization? It's almost like we're catching it in the middle of trying to make the sound. Because what I mean by that is, so in my recordings, I said this on previous videos, on my old recordings, in the house I grew up in, some of the wildest stuff, the wildest stuff you ever heard of went down. And one of the things was, during the night, there were hours and hours of recording going on, that I had during the night, like 6 hours. I did not announce that I was recording, so I believe this contributed to how much stuff was going on, because the recorder was just set down like it was just a regular object, and there was a lot of noise going on. A lot of stuff was being moved. Like you'd find in the morning, you'd hear the salt and pepper shakers slide across the kitchen table. You'd hear certain things that I know audibly, okay, that's the so-and-so, that's the this, that's the that. They would be moved in the morning, but not everything. So some stuff you would hear, it wasn't moved. There was no indication that it was moved. There was stuff, loud stuff, like huge pans falling out in the kitchen, falling out the cabinet and hitting the ground. I mean, just huge crashing noises. Crazy stuff. Sound like the dresser in one of the bedrooms flipped over. I mean, crazy loud noises. And none of that actually happened. None of it happened. One of the cases was the attic door. Now, this is why I think this particularly didn't happen. The attic door was pulled down and it was spring loaded and released. Just pulled down halfway and released. And it makes that huge reverberation sound when it hits the ceiling and closes. So it was like, boo, and I was like, whoa. If this had happened in real life, police would have been called. It'd have been pandemonium, chaos going on. There were people sleep in the house, but this ain't, trust me, this ain't happening. You ain't slamming no huge heavy doors and pans falling out the cabinet. Nobody heard this. And I think, because it didn't actually happen in our reality, somehow it was imprinted like an EVP on the recorder, or something was going on to where those noises, it was a mixture of noises, real and fake, or real and not in this realm. I don't, so I think maybe what you're hearing here is their ability to create the sounds, whether they're audible at the time to the human ear or not. Some of them are, some of them aren't. I think this might be, and there's another clip here we'll see, I think this might be an indication of them mimicking a sound that they're trying to make. So we'll go on. Let me stop ranting, but take a listen to that.
Whoa! Hi! Wait, oh, yeah. I just set a device right... No, wait, what the Hi! Wait, oh, yeah. I just just set a device right... No, wait, what the...
Let's go to the slow-mo there.
Whoa! Hi!
Wait. Oh.
Yeah. I just set a device right... No, wait, what the...
Yeah, that's not a tap.
Oh, yeah.
It has the same qualities to it as a lot of vocalizations I hear, and I've now done, and with the enhancement and stuff. This that strikes me. There's several times in this episode that they thought they heard something that sounded like, and when we hear it, it's going to sound nothing like what they thought they heard. And I think part of that is in the moment there, these things are able to, I think, they'll make some kind of noise, but make people perceive it as something different. So the recorder will pick up one thing. If you're there, you'll hear something completely different. And I think there's some evidence of that here in this episode. Anyway, let's continue.
Go ahead and turn this on.
Whatever that moving around up there is, it's still going.
That was another.
Is there somebody around us?
Go ahead and turn this on.
Whatever that moving around up there is, it's still going.
That was another.
Let's go to the enhancement.
Go ahead and turn this on.
Whatever that moving around up there is, it's still going.
That was another.
Is there somebody around us?
Go ahead and turn this on.
Whatever that moving around up there is, it's still going.
That was.
Let's go to the slow
Go ahead
mo.
and turn this on. Whatever that moving around up there is, it's still going.
That was another.
Is there somebody around us?
Again, your atypical bangs and knocks. Like I said, there's some stuff that is happening in the moment. And even though we hear it, they hear it, even when everything is all in congruence with everybody's in, agreement with what they hear, that doesn't mean something was knocked on. That doesn't mean something was kicked, bumped. I think even with footsteps, it doesn't mean something was actually walking. They're very good, apparently, from what I'm seeing so far, they absolutely can mimic sounds and make it sound like it's perfectly in the environment, that it's, acoustically, it's coming from the same place. But I think like that last clip we heard, sometimes it's not quite right. It's halfway, it's not. Sometimes it gets revealed that it's not really a real sound. So it's hard to tell unless you can go see, which you can sometimes see what was moved or what was tapped on or what was banged. Yeah, they're really playing with us with this stuff. Let's go on to the next.
So, evidently someone can hear us. We've been told a lot of stories about this place and how there might be good spirits and bad spirits.
I hope we can catch it.
Now, let me play that one more time.
So, evidently someone can hear us. We've been told a lot of stories about this place and how there might be good spirits and bad spirits.
I hope we can catch it.
Now, even though this, so there's a little tap in there, even though we're looking at the audio, several references in the original whole episode, several references made to long neck. I'm going to say this, that's not random. I know they didn't know what that meant, and I think I might. I'm not going to go that far, but you can look it up and research it. You can look it up and research it. That's not a random thing. I was kind of shocked that it kept saying long neck, because that is not a random thing at all. Anyway, let's go to the enhancement.
So, evidently someone can hear us. We've been told a lot of stories about this place and how there might be good spirits and bad spirits.
I hope we can catch it.
And let me go back on that. I don't know if it's getting caught in the mic. It probably is. There's a lot of loudness going on outside right now. Of course, when you're trying to record something, I am not in a mic booth or anything like that, so it is unless I brick myself into this room, it's going to be a little bit of bleed over going on. So my apologies if you can hear it, but let's go again.
So, evidently someone can hear us. We've been told a lot of stories about this place and how there might be good spirits and bad spirits.
I hope we can catch
Yeah, let's go
So,
to slow-mo.
evidently someone can hear us. We've been told a lot of stories about this place and how there might be good spirits and bad spirits. I hope we can catch
Yeah, just your atypical situation there. Let's go on to the next one.
Who is the male? Who's the man that does not like people being here? Is there any way we can maybe change that person's mind?
That was loud.
No.
Dude, that's out. That's right outside.
They all.
Now, this is a very interesting clip here.
Who is the male? Who's the man that does not like people being here? Is there any way we can maybe change that person's mind?
That was loud.
No.
Dude, that's out. That's right outside.
So we have another instance here with the production, the post-production here. So Wyatt hears a sound, okay? Wyatt hears a sound up the stairs, right? Where is he at? Where is he at? Right here. He points, he heard it, but nothing picked this up. No cameras apparently picked this up. And, you know, I went through the audio. I could not hear anything in that moment. Now, that does not mean that nothing happened. Just like as I just described, and I've described before, they absolutely can make people, they can take a group of people, like them three standing there. They can make one person hear something. This is just from my experience over the years. They can make one person hear or see something where everybody else standing right there don't hear anything and don't see anything. They definitely, I've seen that. I ain't talking about just Twin Paranormal. I'm talking about across the whole field. And in my experience and so forth, they absolutely can do that. So there's a chance that Wyatt was targeted with that to hear something. There's a chance that maybe just audibly, I mean, I believe it would have been, so one of their cameras should have picked up something. And the fact that it didn't has me thinking that it was just something only he could hear at that moment for whatever reason they did that. Now, with the post-production, again, we have some sound effects over it. I guess they, because nothing was heard, the decision was made to put some cinematic effect over it, which is not necessary. I don't think. Maybe just, put something that the camera didn't pick it up. But I wanted to see if I could find anything there, if it was something there that I might be able to pull out. So I did take the music off of that, I believe. On this one, I took the cinematics off, and there's nothing there that I can tell. But towards the end, the footsteps are there.
Who is the male? Who's the man that does not like people being here? Is there any way we can maybe change that person's mind?
That was loud.
And notice why it says that was loud as you know what I mean? He heard something pretty loud, and it probably was. So the footsteps you hear there at the end, that's probably similar to what he heard, but it just in that moment for whatever reason, and those footsteps or those knocks could be what I was talking about before, where it's not actually something physically making noise in the space. It's them projecting this perception of audio or this audio, whatever it is. It's like they're projecting it out. It doesn't necessarily. It's mimicking the materials and the space and the stuff. But nothing's being hit. So maybe part of that, emanation, the first part may have been directed at, or it was half baked. It wasn't all the way done like that other one we heard, and only he could hear it. And then, as a couple seconds went by, they got themselves together to make everybody hear it, and that's why you hear the footsteps at the end. So it's very interesting.
Who is the male? Who's the man that does not like people being here? Is there any way we can maybe change that person's mind? That was loud.
Dude, that's out. That's right outside.
They all.
Yeah, let's go over the slow-mo.
Who is the male? Who's the man that does not like people being here? Is there any way we can maybe change that person's mind? That was loud. Dude, that's out. That's right outside. They all.
Yeah, that was interesting. There's a lot of this auditory weirdness that was featured in this episode where, yeah, it's giving us a chance to look at, like I said, some of these theories about how the sounds are produced, how they're perceived. It's not just straightforward sound. That's for sure. It's not just, oh, something just banged on the wall over there. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it does just bang on the wall. It mixes it up. So you're, especially if somebody that's not a professional, they're totally confused. You don't know what, you're just spinning in circles because, wait, I heard this fellow, the whole table just flipped over and I went there and nothing was moved. Yeah, because it didn't actually happen. But they absolutely projected the sound of it happening. It's strange. It is strange. But this goes back to the trickster spirit situation. That's you're gonna want to look into that if you've heard that before. You research the tricksters. But let's get on with it.
Did something happen to your neck? Is that why you look this way?
Play that again.
Did something happen to your neck? Is that why you look this way?
Let's hit the enhancement.
Did something happen to your neck? Is that why you look this way? Did something happen to your neck? Is that why you look this way?
Let's hit the slow-mo here.
Did something happen to your neck? Is that why you look this way?
Just some strange, who knows what it is type of sound. Something's either being moved or they're pretending something's being moved. One of the two. And but they can hear it. Let's get on to the next.
What is that? I don't know.
Are you here, Jacob?
What is that? I don't know.
Are you here, Jacob?
Now that one, there's some low rumbling. Sounds like, maybe walking footsteps in a distance up above, on the upper floor. But very, very kind of distant. It wasn't easy to pull that out. You can just kind of hear the low frequency rumbling.
What is that?
Yeah, you can hear a couple of actual bumps or steps in there.
What is that? I don't know.
Are you here, Jacob?
Let's go to the enhancement.
What is that? I don't know. Are you here, Jay?
Yeah, that's just more of your typical weirdness. Let's get on to the next one.
Or in that room? We're just trying to find out. I heard it.
Now this was very subtle. But as you hear, Ryan heard it.
Or in that room? We're just trying to find out. I heard it.
Now let's see what he heard.
Or in that room? We're just trying to find out. I heard.
Now that's kind of artifacted there. It's really, I had to really torture that to pull it out. But it's I wouldn't say it's extremely artifacted because some of these sounds have this vocal type of phase sound to it, and they're not hard sounds. So it's between the two. I always, double guessing myself like, oh, that's probably artifacting, but there's other sounds that make it clear. No, no, that's the sound.
Or in that room? We're just trying to find.
So you got that little tap and some kind of little weird vocalization or something he perceived as movement. I don't know if he just heard the tap.
Or in that room?
So there's some little something after that. Don't know what the hell that is. I have no clue, but another little weird sound. Let's go to the slow-mo.
Or in that room? We're just trying to find out. I heard.
Yeah, that's very strange indeed. Let's go to the next one.
Choke and suffocate. Something is up there.
Okay, here, folks, we have another one. This is another example. They say crashing sounds, that to them, that's what they perceive they heard. And see, we don't know. We're not there. We don't know how they perceived the sound, how the sound was directed at them to perceive it. We could hear the sound. I mean, the way I've seen this work, we could hear the sound of a dog barking and they hear a car crash. It's so weird. I don't know how it's so weird. When you go back and check the recorder, it can sound like something totally different than what you heard in the moment. And that's, and this happens with visuals too, as I've talked about before on the Paranormal Files episode, where one person can see one thing, the other person can see something totally different looking at it at the same time. They're very tricky, but let's hear that again.
Choke and suffocate. Something is up there.
Now, I don't know who's doing the editing after the fact to put crashing sounds there. That's obviously what they thought they heard, or what the editor thought. They're okay, it was probably crashing sound. Not exactly. When you enhance it.
Choke and suffocate. Something is up there.
That is a vocalization.
Choke and suffocate. Something is up there.
And that voice is kind of a familiar sound. So you hear me say that before on the raspy voice and stuff. This, and again, as we go along here, you Phantom Freaks will get very acquainted with how some of these entities sound, just the science of how they make these sounds, how they sound in a transition of creating them and vocalizing them. This is a very familiar sound of a vocalization right here. This is one of the set of sounds that you're going to hear across all kind of different teams. You're going to hear this type of the attributes of this sound. That's definitely a vocal thing. I have stuff similarly recorded as well that sounds like that. So that's what gives me the indication it's a vocalization of some kind. Can't tell what it's saying. It's kind of doing that demonic, animalistic type of weird, just making noise.
Something is up there.
Yeah, that's not crashing, but it could have been, that again, they heard crashing or heard some bumping or something upstairs, but no.
Choke and suffocate.
I'm telling you this, this drives me wild because I every episode I say this, I have recordings that have very similar. I caught voices because at one point, when it was called out, okay, in my case, and I didn't do this, I did not advise this to be done. It was kind of called out and provoked. It stopped making noises, kind of like your quote unquote poltergeist banging stuff around. It stopped that. And the reason why it stopped that is because it was moving stuff associated with a family member that had died recently. So it was trying to, the whole time trying to mimic this family member, trying to make people believe it was this family member. It was not. Okay, and the way we know it was not for a fact is what it did once it was called out. So once it was called out, whole script flipped, whole thing changed. It was like, oh, okay, you know it. Okay, now it's on. And the very moment that happened, the recordings were filled with voices. Instead of that much movement, there still was movement going on, footsteps and stuff, but it was all kinds of voices. Men, women, children, and then what you just heard here, whatever the hell that is, what on my recorder. Okay. Yeah. So I got stuff that sounds very similar to that. And yeah, that's just what I try to share that with you guys. I don't mean to ramble, but it's the comparison aspect, and then of course we having the skill set here to bring it together and try to analyze this and bring it out. But yeah, I'm hearing this across several different paranormal investigative teams. So we know, at least I know, that certain aspects, at least, of what's going on is authentic, because there's no way I could have caught the same thing. So anyway, let's get on to the next one.
Are you trying to tell us something? Did you witness something happen? Dude? Oh, something just paused? Your camera?
Mine did.
All right, we had a camera malfunction. Very hard to hear there. In the
Are you trying to tell us something? Did you witness something happen? Dude? Oh, something just paused? Your camera?
Now, let's see. I don't remember this clip here. Let me see what we got here.
Are you trying to tell us something? Did you witness something happen? Dude? Oh.
Okay, yeah, there was a little noise there.
Dude? Oh, something just paused?
Yeah, whatever that little shuffling was,
Dude?
that's what they were talking about. I had to dig deep for that one. Let's go to slow-mo.
Happen?
Dude? Oh, something just paused. Your camera?
Mine did.
Yeah, that some of these are real subtle. Takes a lot to dig them out, but we got it. Let's get on to the next clip.
What is happening?
Did you just hear that? Yeah. It sounds like someone's like sitting on that.
Yeah. What?
Let's go back.
What is happening?
Did you just hear that? Yeah. It sounds like someone's like sitting on that.
Yeah.
Now, a couple of times through this episode, I see it mentioned as the medical bed is squeaking. I don't hear. I didn't hear any squeaking. Or just the sound of metal at all. I don't recall in any of these clips. Let's go to the enhancement.
What is happening? What is happening?
Just some kind of strange movement and noise. Again, their perception versus what the recorder picked up is always going to be two different things.
What is happening?
I don't mean always, but at least at this location. These entities here really like to do the auditory mimicking, and there's no telling what they were hearing live, on the scene versus what the recorder picked up. Let's go to the slow-mo.
What is happening? What is happening?
Yeah, I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what that is. Let's go to the next clip.
Hit his face on my camera.
What the was that?
Okay, this one, let's go back.
Hit his face on my camera.
What the was that?
Again, I have to take an issue with the production, post-production cinematics. And this isn't something I'm not coming down on Twin Paranormal. There's a lot of channels, even TV shows, which is where this this idea comes from, all the way back to Ghost Hunters, the original Ghost Hunters. The cinematics get a little egregious. Okay. there was a noise here, but it was kind of covered by the cinematic orchestral noise. So I think here on this one, I tried to pull that out as well. Take the cinematic out and enhance the audio. Let's see.
Hit his face on my camera. What the was that?
Yeah. Yeah, and in some cases, not all, I'm able to strip the music away and still enhance the sound. Sometimes you don't hear anything, but you pull the music off and there's still some trace there that can be enhanced.
Hit his face on my camera. What the was that?
So clearly some kind of loud sliding that he heard. Let's go to the slow-mo.
Hit his face on my camera. What the was that?
You know, and I get it. It's a catch-22 for these teams because, you know, on one hand, yeah, you want people to hear what's going on, but there is an entertainment factor to it. I mean, even here at this channel, you know, I'm still getting stuff together. I have to, you know, get the thumbnails together and the intro and the outro and a little bit of music and stuff for the entertainment factor. That's just a fact of life on it. You know, people want to be entertained as well as informed or whatever. So you got to kind of make it, you know, I'm bare bones right now, as you see. You know, I'm putting stuff out. We'll get there, but I get it, you know, but it's hard to, sometimes you might lose some of the evidence with some of the cinematics.
Hit his face on my camera. What the was that?
Yeah, there was clearly something there that he heard. Matter of fact, let me play the original again.
Camera. What the was that?
So you can hear it there, but it's low and you got the cinematics coming across. Let's go to the next clip.
Yeah, I heard that.
Let's see what we got.
Can you please answer that? Yeah, I heard that.
Something really distant.
Can you please answer that?
Yeah, that's another one of those. You just get the low end rumble that you can kind of, because it was very distant, that you can kind of get an idea of what they're talking about.
Can you please answer that?
It's those little spikes, those little jumps out of the noise there.
Can you please answer that?
Let's go to slow-mo.
Can you please answer that?
Yeah, so he has something going on there. Something going on there. Let's get this to the next clip.
If you can hear my voice, do you know how many patients they ran experiments on? Just a question.
Again with the bed squeaking.
If you can hear my voice, do you know how many patients they ran experiments on? Just a question.
Let's go to the enhancement.
If you can hear my voice, do you know how many patients they ran experiments on? Just a question.
Sounds like some rumbling around.
If you can hear my voice, do you know how many patients they ran experiments on?
Yeah, like I said, I never heard any medical bed squeaking, but yeah, all kind of movement.
If you can hear my voice, do you know how many patients they ran experiments on? Just a question.
Yeah, that's I don't know what. There was so much going on with perception of audio in this episode. Let's get to the next clip.
If you are here, can you please speak into this device and let us know that you are?
What was that? That was a voice.
Okay, this is interesting. Let's play that one more time.
If you are here, can you please speak into this device and let us know that you are?
What was that?
Now their spirit box was a little low in this episode, volume wise. It was definitely definitely hard to hear, but that is not a bridge too far here at Phantom Freaks. We're going to enhance this. Yeah, this is I'm working on some new processes for this, and this is what you're about to hear right now. It's I'm starting to pull these out pretty good, where we can get rid of the static that's coming through, and there's stuff under the static. Even though the static, I talked about this in the previous video, the Project Fear video. The static is part of how the voice is formed. And sometimes the static is like, when I'm messing with it, sometimes I can take the static totally out, but sometimes it's needed because it's using it as part of the for the transients, the hard T's and the P's and the sharp stuff. It will try to use some of that static for that. So it's made up, it's layered of static voice, another harmony, all kind of different elements to create the voice. So listen here when you peel it back.
If you are here, can you please speak into this device and let us know that you are? What was that?
Now, yeah, what was that? Definitely can hear it saying something. As you can hear, a lot less static and a little more of the voice that's under there. And it's always that swirly, phasey, out of phase type of voice. Because again, it's several things making up to come together to make up a voice.
Let us know that you are.
And you let me know in the comments what you think this says. Okay, right now, before I say what I think it says, get in the comments. What does that say? Okay, I'm gonna play it again.
If you are here, can you please speak into this device and let us know that you are? What was that?
And I'm gonna play the slow-mo.
Speak into this device and let us know that you are.
Okay, what is that? I'll give you a minute. Okay, now I know this is probably not what it says, okay, but I can't help but to think the whole time when I was editing this, I was like, that sounds like it's saying I'm not Mexican. And I'm like, what? I'm sure that's not what it said, but it sounds so close to that.
Let us know that you are.
What? I mean, we hear the syllables for it for sure.
You are? What was that?
I don't know. Yeah, let me know if you know what this thing is saying. It's saying something. There's a voice there. If we listen to the original.
Know that you are?
Enhanced.
Are?
Yeah, but the good thing is here that I'm developing a process here that really does pull out a lot out of the static, not just from the radios, but the EVP voices that are real raspy. The same kind of thing is happening. The staticky, raspy part, I can pull back, I can peel that back, and get to the layers, the several layers of stacked harmonics that these entities use to make the voice. I said it before, it's not a single tone, it's multiple things coming together, and they're slightly out of phase, so that's why it sounds kind of echoey or chorusy. They're not totally lined up. It's really a rough, just pulling together a bunch of stuff to try to make a vocalization from what I'm seeing here in the audio. And I can visually see it when I'm looking at my analyzers and stuff. I can see the layers and see it. It's nuts. Okay, so this is getting crazy. Well, let's go on to the next clip.
What do you mean by that? Can you be a little bit more specific? Whoa, that was in here. What do you mean by that? Can you be a little bit more specific?
Whoa. That was in here.
Let's go to the enhancement.
What do you mean by that? Can you be a little bit more specific?
Yeah, just your typical tap, very loud in the room.
What do you mean by that? Can you be a little bit more specific?
And I think Wyatt's face there says it all. his face there says it all. But yeah, that does it for part 1. You know, if you made it this far, stay tuned. You know, this is usually where I do the channel updates and stuff. Here at the end, I'm over here working super hard. Definitely give me a sub, comment, like, let me know if this is you know, something that you want to see more of. You know, we're trying to build the page up the best we can. The more you guys you know, comment, like, and subscribe, you know, the more I can justify putting more time to this. You know, hopefully at some point I can allocate a lot more time to this. And, you know, it's just going to depend on you guys. If you guys want more of it, hit all the buttons, hit all the buttons, and we'll get there. Things are moving along. The analytics are looking good. We just, you know, we're going to get the subs up here, and we're going to keep marching on. So until next time, I think that'll do it. And look out for part 2 and part 3. They're coming along shortly.